Baker, what have you seen out of the Atlanta defense so far?
Physical. They play fast. They really, you can see on tape they swarm to the ball. Um, some guys are dealing with a couple of injuries, but they're having guys step up and make plays for them. So they're playing well as a unit.
Hey Baker, Greg Williams said you were a little irritated with yourself on some inaccurate throws Sunday. What do you think was going on? Because he was high and deep on a couple of throws.
Yeah, the deep shots. I think the one to Perriman in the end zone, and then also the one that just went over Njoku's head. He touched it with one hand, but I just those things that you got to give them a chance. Got to put it in the best position for them to make a play. Yeah, I'll get that fixed. Sometimes physical mistakes happen, but that's the frustrating part. Is I expect to make those throws.
What kind of growth have you had this season, Baker, that may not show up statistically?
Communication, knowledge of the offense. I think just the checks we're making, what I'm seeing, being able to eliminate. I think I made a big jump last week with that, and I expect to do the same this week.
What you talked about after the game about taking that big jump. What's the next step for you and this offense?
Continuing to score points, touchdowns. I think just being able to finish and take advantage of our shot plays when we have them, making those plays, and converting on third downs. We weren't as good on third downs as we wanted to be, but luckily we went for it so many times. We were pretty good on fourth down. So I think if we're better on third down, we can make a big jump and keep those drives moving and just make the plays when we have them.
2-point plays. Williams also said Monday that you guys practiced a lot. It's about time to get some production out there. What was the problem Sunday? 3 throws.
They zoned off one of them that we were expecting to get a little bit more man coverage on it. So we just got to be able to execute and react to what they're doing. If they're going to throw a little change up in there, we got to be able to make a play and go through it. We just, what it comes down to, you got to be able to execute. It's very detailed down there because it's, there's not a lot of time and space. You got to be able to do your job and be very sound in that. And so you can't hesitate and you can't miss the windows. So it's just better execution.
I think it's too risky to run that play. Just a simple run.
Yeah, I mean, you're risking running from the 2-yard line. It's just, and the linebackers are not going to get depth. So it's different. It's whatever you're going to call.
Hey, Baker, fortunately your side of the ball has been relatively healthy, but when the defense has had all kinds of injuries lately, how do you stop that from kind of creeping into the team's psyche and when it becomes a factor?
I think it goes back to having that next man up mentality, making sure that our guys know they're always one play away. You don't want to have that, but at the same time, you got to have people involved, know the game plan, and just realize there's no excuses. You got to be able to do your job. That's why you're in the NFL. That's why you're here.
You've been talking a little bit about, just trusting your receivers and having people that you can look out there and feel good about. Now with Duke more involved in the passing game, you got Rashard back. Some other guys have been coming along as the weeks have gone by. Do you feel like you have a little bit more trust in this whole situation now that you've been out there?
I had trust in it before, but yeah, these are guys that I had more reps with. And as I continue to get more reps with Rashard Perriman, it's only going to continue to grow. So, obviously, anytime you're out there with guys you've been throwing with, it's going to be more comfortable, but it wasn't a matter of a trust issue.
Getting Duke Johnson going last Sunday, was that emphasis for that game plan, or was that what Kansas City gave you on those plays?
A little bit of both. There's sometimes when we had the matchups we wanted, and Duke was able to make plays, like the first touchdown he scored. We're just getting the ball in his hands, creating a play for him, but then he does the rest. So that's the type of stuff we want to do with any of our playmakers, is get the ball in their hands and let them do the work.
How big a role? I mean, I know Rashad had a much bigger one on Sunday. Can that keep growing? I mean, we see his speed and his physicality. Can he get bigger and bigger in this offense?
Absolutely. I think we got to be able to stretch the field. We got to be able to, threaten people down the field with shots, and we got to be able to make those plays, like I said, when they're there. And he's one of those guys that he has the capability of doing that, and so we're going to continue to grow and get better as we go along.
Do you think, I think you had 6 starts of the 7. Are you getting closer to a complete game out of yourself?
For me, it's just getting better every week. Like I said, I think there was a big jump into last week, but I got to make that and more so this week. You got to continue to grow on it, eliminating the mistakes that I've made in the past and learning from those, and not making the same mistake twice. That's what I think the key to improving at a good rate is not making that same mistake twice. Seeing the looks and learning from it, and just like I said, putting us in a good position to win.
Have you studied Matt Ryan over the years for any reason?
I have not. I just enjoyed watching him play at a high level consistently.
And as you come across a different defense every week, are you still seeing things you haven't seen yet?
No. I think at this point in the season, we've kind of seen a little bit of everything. And then considering our training camp against our own defense, we've seen a little bit of everything defensive-wise. It's just some teams are more specialty on certain looks, and so we just got to be ready when we go into the week.
You seldom lost in high school and college, Texas Tech and Oklahoma, obviously. How are you handling everything mentally in these last 4 games? And how are you processing all of it?
Yeah, losing sucks. There's no way around that, but got to be able to push forward. And like I said after the game, we got to be able to find the positives right now and build on those. And then once we continue to do that, we're able to focus on eliminating the negatives after that. So it's about finding out what we need as a team. And right now, that's a leadership and being able to continue to improve every week.
Is that what kind of keeps you from getting down about it? The fact that you think the guys are in the locker room need to see you act otherwise?
Yeah, we still have a lot of games left. If I was down about it, then I don't think I'd be the man for the job.
What's it like? Baker, we're coming up on a year anniversary of that Kansas game last year, and John Dorsey was there. Can you just reflect on that year, how life has changed for you, how you're different?
That's your question?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Answered that question about that many times, so I'm good on
Just
that
I'm
one.
talking about the whole year since then. I mean, just what has this 365 been like?
There's been it's been kind of a roller coaster. Thought I'd finish college football with a national championship, so that was disappointing. Going through the draft process, the criticism, all that stuff. It's just interesting. A lot of eye-opening things that I've gone through. A lot of lessons and just meeting new people, influential people. But all good things, all exciting things that have led, to me ultimately doing my dream job and having a chance to play quarterback in the NFL.
Do you ever compare and look at the other rookie quarterbacks that came out in the draft class and are doing?
No, I'll see what they're doing, just keep up with them, just because we did a lot of stuff together, but not comparing. Not worried about that. I'm worried about the Cleveland Browns.
What's it been like sharing the field with quarterbacks like the Will this Sunday, Matt Ryan, Big Ben, guys who have climbed the mountaintop that you're trying to get to?
It's exciting to watch, and even when I wasn't playing, watching Drew Brees down in New Orleans, those are guys that I've watched for years, and so if anything, going down there and being able to take away certain things from them, watching their game, how they lead, how they execute, how they control the game. I think a great example was Phillip Rivers a couple weeks ago. Just different things I can take away from each guy. They're all good at different things, and they specialize in different things. So it's been fun to compete against them.
What about the post-game exchanges just after the game, saying what's up to them?
Yeah, it's short and sweet. You keep it short and sweet. You understand that you got to go into the locker room and you got to move on next week.
How much has the game slowed down for you?
I think it's continually slowed down week by week, just being able to see different stuff and just, like I said, learn from it and not make the same mistake twice. That's a big part of the game slowing down.
I know you wanted to see this play on film before commenting on it, but when you were getting wrapped up on the sack and Ron Parker came in and hit helmet to helmet, frustrating watching that back, or what were your thoughts on it?
I think it'd be more frustrating if it hurt.
Frustrating there wasn't a flag?
I was more frustrated they took me out of the game, to be honest with you.
What do you, okay, so...
But they're protecting me and they're doing their job, so, ultimately, what can I complain about? They're doing their job. I think it just, when it comes down to all that, there's a lot of criticism on, the helmet-to-helmet stuff because they're trying to find the consistency. And with each referee, they're all different, how they see those hits and how they see it in action. Some guys don't have a great view on it. They might not, say, okay, well, the play was still going on. The guy who's already had momentum, stuff like that. It's different. So they're trying to figor it out, too.
How often are you surprised by a situation where you're surprised there is a call or you're surprised there's not? Like sometimes you get when you're like, what the? Or, the other way around.
It's very surprising. It's funny to see some of the referees chit-chat with guys on the field, and I don't know. I think as the years go on, we'll get better relationships, and we'll see as it goes, and we improve as a team too.
Has every single opponent thrown something at you that you haven't seen on film? In the context of, you're a rookie, they're going to try to trick you if they can. Is everybody showing you something that they haven't shown on film?
They always have a little change up here and there, but you figure that out once you come off the sideline, once you see the pictures of what they're doing. You want to see what wrinkle they're going to try and throw in the week. But some teams, they roll with what they have, and they trust that. They trust that to get the job done. It's kind of a mentality of, okay, here we are. You just better outplay us. So it's different, yeah. But there's a lot of things that I've seen so far, and yeah, there's been some new things, but I have to learn on the fly.
Just a couple more. Dan Quinn being a defensive-minded head coach, are you seeing some pretty genius type things on film, things that you have to try to figure out?
Yeah, they do a good job of disguising certain looks and kind of messing with you. But that him being a defensive coach just means that he's good at his craft. So they're going to do what they do, and they're going to do it very, very well. So we have to be ready for that. We have to be ready for what they've shown on tape, but then also, like I said, for whatever wrinkle they're going to throw in for the week.
You've been complimentary to Nick Chubb. What do you like best that he's showing you since he's taken over to start?
How physical he is. I think the consistency of it's very rare for him to get taken down by one player. The extra yards, once he hits the pile and pushes it, it goes a long way. It wears on a defense when they think they have him wrapped up, but he pushes another 4 yards. I mean, it's the shortest of gains when it comes down to it, but it's huge in the long run for moving the chains.
Hey, Baker, the first thing you mentioned last week was about the positives was Greg Robinson. So what specifically did you like the way what he did?
He was physical. I think he didn't hesitate whatsoever. I think, he's a guy that he's been there before. And I think for Greg, he needs people to support him. I think it comes down to we believe in Greg. We trust that he's more than capable of playing at this level and doing it at a very high level. And so we saw that on Sunday. We saw him be physical. We saw him do his job. We saw him, communicate. And that's the most important thing. We got to be able to do that, and we trust him because of that.
Yeah, Baker, the refs have gone from not protecting you to maybe overprotecting you last week. Do you think maybe there should be something that the league does to have those plays looked at regardless on any helmet hit to a quarterback?
Yeah. They just have to find their consistency. I said it earlier, there's just, with every ref, it's different. How they see it, how they're, seeing the plays, momentum with the whistle, when it's blown, stuff like that. It's just different with every ref. And so, as they continue to try and force the same rule, I think the consistency will grow. But right now, that's why you're seeing some confusion.
Were you fighting them to stay out there? Like, did you have a problem? I mean, obviously, you're going to have to leave the field. Did you fight to stay out there?
Yeah. I guess that's the new rule. I got to come off the field for a checkup. So.
Was officiating in college just as inconsistent?
No, I had a bunch of friends out there, being out there for 3 years, so it was good.